This is going to be a very strange video because I'm going to give you a movie review of The Smashing Machine. I'm going to tell you how much I loved it, and I'm also going to tell you why you should not watch this movie. All right, so stick around and you'll find out why. Now, in case you're not aware, this is a spoiler-filled review, so be warned. Now, first and foremost, when I came to know The Rock is coming out with another movie, I was not excited at all because I don't like his movies. I don't know, for some reason, it's the same guy with a bald head, big muscles, shiny teeth. And when you watch a movie and you see The Rock, you know it's The Rock. He tries hard to play another character, but you know it's The Rock. It's like Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, Samuel L. Jackson. All of them can play a character and you'll believe that they are that character, even like Matt Damon or Ben Affleck. But The Rock, the minute you see him, you see that bald head, you see that smiley thing, you see those muscles. You don't feel he's a character, you feel he's The Rock. Like, that is why Black Adam was a massive, colossal failure, because you didn't feel the character was Black Adam, you felt it was The Rock. And yes, his interference in the Hollywood studio, the politics, I don't want to get into that, but he destroyed it. Okay, he destroyed the DCEU. I love, comic book characters. He destroyed it. And, he's famous for all those muscle-bound roles like Fast and Furious or, doing crazy stuff. But I'm not a fan of his. Okay, so you got that. So when I came to know that he's doing this MMA biopic, I was like, man, is he going to ruin this? Is he going to destroy it? But then when the reviews came out, I was even more intrigued. Why? Because MMA fighters watched the movie and they said, wow, I liked it. But the general public, they watched it and they said, we hated it. And the fact of the matter is, it gained only $5.9 million collection in the US. So it's the biggest flop in The Rock's career. So I was like, okay, then why do people say that it's a good movie? In fact, where I started to really get intrigued was when people started saying that he played finally a character with depth. And you remember the video, I can't get it, where he was filmed at a screenplay and, they were early screening. And then people gave him a standing ovation and he was crying. So I was like, man, I need to see this because those tears were genuine. So, lo and behold, finally I decided, okay, let me see. If I get bored, I'll just watch 2-3 minutes and then I'll see another movie, then I'll see another movie. That's how I normally see movies. 2-3 minutes each movie, only when I'm eating food. And it can take me up to 2 months to see a movie. So, it has to really be good to keep me glued to it. But I'll tell you, the second I played the movie, I put it on, I was like, oh my goodness. And I'll tell you why. When the movie starts, remember, spoiler bits, huh? When the movie starts, the size of Dwayne Johnson. Now, remember, I'm not like one of those kiddos who, oh, what big muscles, oh, wow, and all that. No. I've been a bodybuilder since the age of 16. I've experimented with steroids. I know what is supplements. I know what is steroids. I know what is exercise. See, The Rock, he has already packed on muscles, even though he claims to be natural, which is rubbish. In his 50s, he has still maintained a huge amount of mass. But for him to play this role, he had to put even more mass on his body. And the second I saw that, I was like, is he gone mad? Because remember, as you grow older, if you put on more mass, it'll affect your breathing, it'll affect your heart, it'll affect your health. I was 100% sure. I was like, man, this guy, the amount of mass that he has put, he has to take steroids. He has to eat double the amount of food, where food stops being fun. He has to stuff his face every day, and not delicious chocolates and this. He has to eat dried chicken. He has to eat broccoli. He has to eat unsalted stuff. So it is terrible. And I was just thinking how much of hard work he had to put, how much of discipline. So for me, immediately on seeing the mass that he put, I was like, nothing but respect to this guy. And being an MMA fan, I've been a fan for so many years. The way he was moving, it was not like one of the typical Hollywood, jump in the air or Hindi movies, yeah, dish, or Broca, one guy, they do all these funny jumping in the air and hitting and people flying off. It was very, very real. And I'll tell you, the reason why I told you that I loved it, but you will not, is because if I were to tell you, okay, do you know who's Mark Kerr, the guy he's playing? I'm 100% sure, unless you're an MMA fan, a hardcore one, you would not know who Mark Kerr is. If I ask you, who's Bas Rutten, you can see the guy on the screen. Unless you're old school, someone who has been watching since the 1995 onwards, you wouldn't know who's Bas Rutten. You would not know what is who's Ryan Bader. All these are fighters. And Pride FC, if I type it out, let me just type it out on screen. 1 second. Pride FC. You would not know what organization is this simply because it doesn't exist anymore. These are the OGs, the old school. And you really have to be a hardcore fan, a hardcore follower to know what I'm talking about. So right off the bat, when the movie came out, it ostracized majority of the audience who's not MMA. And remember, a movie like Rocky with Sylvester Stallone, where there were romantic moments where he met this girl, he has this cute dog, and then he's fighting as an underdog, and she tells him, okay, go and fight, and he can't see, his eyes are like swollen. They take a blade and cut. Very iconic scenes, and in the end, he holds a belt and hey Adrian, I did it. And here he's playing Mark Kerr, where he has to tell you the real story, and it's not from beginning to the end. It's not like moment of glory. It is, the whole script is a man who is going through addiction, a midlife crisis, end of his peak, his career, where he's facing health issues, where he's facing addictions, and biggest of all, he's facing a toxic relationship where he loves the female, he loves the woman, but it's not working out. And for me, someone who coaches, mentors, trains, and listens to people's problems and has gone through all this, I could relate to him so much. The health issues, the pain on the joints, wanting to take steroids or wanting to do the gym, or questioning your career, going through a toxic relationship, having the fear of end of your career, money. I could so much relate to him. I literally felt as if it was like I was talking to me, that kind of thing, older me. And they were, see, The Rock generally plays as, showing his teeth, the perfect image. Here he really played someone with depth and character. The moments of doubts. In fact, if you look at his eyes, when he shows like he has taken drugs and he is high, or when he is sad, it shows in his eyes, it shows in his expression. Even when he is tired after training, he's exhausted. I could so much relate to it. He really did his part well. In fact, this is one part of the movie which only hardcore fans would notice. Hardcore. In one of the scenes, The Rock, when he's training for the fight, he's wearing an old Abu Dhabi t-shirt, a UAE shirt, where they have a UAE number and it's written in Arabic, where they're talking of an old organization in UAE. Unless you are really, eagle-eyed and you know about fighting, you're old school, you'll never notice that shirt. 99% of the people would not notice it. So that is why I was not surprised when I found out that this movie was a flop. I don't know why Rock did it. Was he trying to cement his legacy that I'm a serious actor? Or did he just want to try a different role? Or did he take a gamble? But right off the bat, this is not a movie for mainstream. This is a movie only for hardcore MMA fans. And from MMA fans, only old school. Okay? Because remember, I give you names like Bas Rutten. I give you names like this guy. What is his name? This guy is Mark Kerr. This is Bas Rutten. This is Ryan Bader. Unless you're hardcore, you would not know all this. And then when I talk about Pride FC, you'll be like, what is Pride FC? Because it doesn't exist. But one last thing I would like to say before I conclude is Emily Blunt. What a treasure. She really was one of the strongest supporting cast. Like Bas Rutten and Ryan Bader, they played their characters very well. But Emily Blunt took it to another level because the chemistry between both of them, and she playing a toxic character, a woman who is obsessed, who wants attention, who is mentally and emotionally unstable. Oh, she made me hate her. She kind of reminded me of the toxic relationships I had. She played it so bloody well. I have nothing but respect for her. And I remembered all those amazing roles she played in Devil Wears Prada or The Day After Tomorrow. She's a treasure. And The Rock did the right thing by ensuring he got paid less, she got paid more, just for her to be in the movie. So overall, for me, as an MMA fan, as someone who could relate to what The Rock did, and as someone who admires the sacrifice that he took on his health, he took a very big gamble. I'll tell you, his health is, if you see, where is it? Yeah, the weight that he lost. People are very shocked how thin. He risked his life for this role. I have nothing but respect. And I give it a straight away 9 out of 10. Slow movie, but very powerful. But for people like you, general audience, I don't think you'll be able to relate to it that much. And most probably, if I was a normal person who didn't understand what the hell is going on, I would give it a 3 out of 10. So that is what I would say. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Have you watched the movie? What do you think about it? And what did you think of this review? Do you feel it was helpful in guiding you? And would you be watching it? I'd love to know your thoughts. Having said that, comment down below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.